Stem and leaf plot is a visual way of representing a bunch of numbers. That by grouping them and arranging them in a certain way, it's easier to get an idea of the numbers, especially when there's a lot of numbers. Take a look at the bottom of page 351. We've got a whole bunch of numbers there. We've got 30 numbers there in a little block of text.
Where?
Got 30 numbers right there.
Oh, look at all those numbers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
By looking at the numbers when they're just written out like that, is it easy to get a sense of the distribution, like how many of them are in the 80s, how many of them are in the 70s, that kind of thing? Or how many? If those are test scores, how many good grades, how many bad grades, how many averages? Yeah. No, it's not easy to get a good sense of the numbers as a whole. Now, what we could do, we've already done things like calculating the mean, the median, the range, and the mode, right? We've done those. You can find those.
Yeah.
So you could do those calculations on those numbers, and that would give you a little bit of a sense of those numbers. That gives you 4 pieces of information about the numbers as a group. If you want a good visual sense of things, it can be done with a stem and leaf plot. The idea is you've got a vertical line, and you put a stem on one side, and then a leaf on the right. And typically on the leaf side, these are the units. Or whatever's in the ones place. The stem and leaf plot, on the leaf side is where we put all the digits in the ones place, or the units. In on the stem side, here's where we have the higher numbers. So it's tens, or if the numbers are larger, or the tens and up. So in the group of data here that we have at the beginning of lesson 85, we've got a bunch of 2-digit numbers. And it looks like the lowest is somewhere in the 60s. Nope, there's a 50-something. So we're talking about the mid to high 2-digit numbers. So our stem is going to be the digits in the tens place. What are all the digits that we have in the tens place in this group of numbers? Do we have a 9? Is there at least one number in the 90s?
Yes.
All right, so we need we need a stem of 9. This is going to represent all the number on this line. We're going to do all the numbers that are in the 90s. Are there any numbers? Is there at least one number in the 80s?
Yes.
How about the 70s?
Yes.
60s?
Yes.
50s?
Yes.
40s?
No.
Okay. All right. So, what numbers do we have in the 90s? We've got a 92, so I'm going to put a 2 here for the leaf.
91.
Then we have are you going down? Okay, so then we've got a 91, a 96, a 94,
95.
A 95, another 95, a 90,
96.
96. Okay, and for the 8, what do we have for the 80s?
81, 80, 81, 88, 86. 87, 88, 82, 87, 89, 85.
All right, what do we have in the 70s?
75, 70, 75, 74, 74. I think that's it.
All right, how about the 60s?
65.
I got this.
69.
69, 62, 65.
Are you going cross? Because that's going to mess everything up.
Uh-oh.
That's going to mess everything up.
9.
That's it.
Oh, don't do it.
That's it.
Only.
All right, and the 50s? There was a 56.
Yeah.
That's the only one? No, there's also 58.
58.
Now, notice, I want to put it the other way. Okay. This book does it with the lowest. It has it goes 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. I've seen it this way also, but the stems do need to be in order. Which order is not as important, but they do need to be in order. I did it as 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, but book did it as 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not really. Just to make it easier to grade, you should probably do it the way it's in the book. So you do it the other way. All right. So making a stem and leaf plot from a set of numbers is usually a two-step process. Step one is write the stems. Write the stems and then the leaves. And we'll call it a three-step process. Write the stems, write the leaves, and then put things in order. So let's redo this the way the book did it. Stem, leaf. All right. So the book wants the smallest one here. So of the numbers in the 50s, let's put the numbers in order. We have 6 and then 8. And I did not give myself a number. Stem, leaf. All right, so for a stem of 5, the numbers in the 50s, we have 56 and 58 in that order. In the 60s, we've got 5, 9, and 2. Let's put them in order. So 2, 5, 9. In the 70s, we have a 0, 2 4s, and 2 5s. The 80s, we have a 0, 2 1s, a 2, a 5, a 6, 2 7s, and 2 8s.
And a 9.
And a 9. That one got really long. And in the 90s, we have a 0, a 1, a 2, 4, 2 5s,
6.
2 6s. There we go. So we have now constructed a stem and leaf plot. And what can you tell from this that was not obvious when you just looked at a bunch of numbers?
That. What was the question?
How well did most people do on the test? Let's assume that these are test scores. How well did most people do?
Failed.
Average.
Very good.
80s.
Not too bad.
There's a lot
There
of
were a
80s.
lot of people that got 80 something on the test.
Yeah.
And so,
I can do that.
and most of them got you got 70 and up.
Yeah. Pretty good people.
Yeah.
Those 50s. Oh, that's me. That's me
Now,
every day.
to answer a question that is coming up in the latter part of the lesson, it talks about something called the mode interval. The intervals here, or let's take this. This is the stem and leaf plot. If we take this and turn it sideways, we can make what's called a histogram.
Instagram?
Also, histogram with an H. I'm going to take this chart and I'm going to turn it sideways in some other color.
Blue.
And let's see here. So I've got a vertical scale here. In the 50s, there's 2 numbers. So in the 50s, that's going to come up to 2. Oh my. All right, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. All right, in the 60s, we have 3. So for the 60s, we're going to come up to 3. 70s, we've got 5, so we're going to come up to 5. The 80s, there's 11 of those. I've got to come all the way up to 11.
Huh? Oh.
And the 90s, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got to come to 8 for the 90s. So this is for that same set of numbers. Here is the stem and leaf plot for those numbers. If I take this and just turn it sideways, these numbers along the left side in the stem and leaf plot become the bottom of the histogram. This is the histogram. So these numbers become the bottom part of the histogram. And then instead of leaves going off sideways, we have these bars that go up. And we count how many there are to make to show the relative size. Is this still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Now we can answer certain questions here. One of the things that we can answer is something called the mode interval. Remember what mode means? When we're talking about mean mode. What's mode?
Like the middle number, I think? No.
Nope, that's the
Most
median.
occurring.
Yeah, most occurring. So if we talk about the 50s and the 60s and the 70s and the 80s and the 90s, which of these decades occurs the most?
The eighth one.
8.
All right. So this is the highest one. So the mode interval would be in the 80s, 80 to 89.
Okay.
That's how you would answer that question. Actually, interesting. I bet the book would probably say 80 to 90. I think it should be 80 to 89.
So if we put that, would we get it wrong?
You'll have to put this. If you do this, I won't mark it wrong. But technically, any scores that are 90. Oh, you know what? Actually, I'll take it either. I'll take it either way.
Either way. I would go to 8 and 9.
Yeah. So would I. There are other reasons that I could guarantee you do not care about. That it's okay to say this, but yeah, I'll take it either way. Whichever way makes more sense to you.